Good morning, guys and dolls. Ooh, I'm a little bright. Let me adjust this just a little bit. I wanted to make a video this morning and talk a little bit about, well, a whole bunch of things that have been on my mind and on my heart lately. And I don't want to get in too much detail and I don't want to get too long either, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the comparisons in marriage and business. And what I mean by that is when we get married, it's fun and it's new and it's exciting and everybody's happy for us. So everybody's interested and everybody's giving us positive advice and positive feedback. And they're so excited for us. And they come to the celebration and they buy us gifts and they're willing to help us out and all those great things. We go on the honeymoon that is often paid for by some of the gift money from the wedding, and everything is fun and dandy. And then you come home and real life starts, and you have to start putting in the work, right? Because real life starts to happen. And in order to make it in a marriage for years and years and years to come, um, you have to work at it, right? We all come to crossroads in our marriage, and I will openly say, and I know Troy would as well, that you come to a time where it just gets really, really hard, and you ask yourself, do I stay or do I go? Is this worth it? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And what we know is if we keep plugging away and we start putting the focus on our marriage and we start doing the right things by ourselves and by our spouse, and we work really hard, it's all worth it in the long run. The longevity, right? We celebrate the 50-year wedding anniversaries or more so. And anybody that's ever been married for 50, 60 years will always tell you it was never easy. And there were times we didn't know if we'd make it, but we did. We stuck together and we did the right things and we worked really hard and we made it work. And that analogy came up the other day when I was talking to one of my very best friends and business leaders inside my company. I'm a network marketer. That is my full-time business. I've owned other businesses. A little bit about myself. I was in the banking field for 10 years. That's what I was doing while I was in college. And I became pregnant with my now 16-year-old son. So I finished up my 2-year degree and then I did not go on beyond that. I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted my own office with my own little couch. I wanted to save the world one hurting person at a time. That might not surprise some of you. And life happened. And so I was in the banking field for 10 years. I met my husband, we married, and we started trying to have children of our own together, and we struggled. That's part of our journey and a story for another time, but it was not easy. But we ended up 9 years ago with our twin boys. They just turned 9 this past March, and they're such a blessing. And so we have 4 kids. We have two, one his and mine, and then we have our twins together. And then I, because of the twins arriving, decided to leave the bank. I worked the day before the twins were born, and then that was actually I kept my foot in the door for a little bit longer because I was afraid. I was afraid to leave the corporate world and to go out on my own and start a business, which was an in-home daycare business. I started that the July after my boys were born, and it took off immediately. There was a huge need for childcare in our area, and I did that for 8 years. I did it out of my house until my boys were 8 years old. So that was my um, first business that I owned. My first exposure, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, to owning your own business, which requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of self-discipline. It requires a lot of, you don't get to take the time off because you don't get the paid PTO, and you got to do all the paperwork, and you got to do all the taxes, and you got to do all the things. But also, I found the freedom that came with it. Shortly after that, I opened up my very first network marketing business. Troy and I had first just got introduced to network marketing through a few mutual friends. We dove into it a little bit, but never did anything with any of them. And then our family actually was with a skincare company that we used and we loved, and they started talking to us about making a business of it. And I was like, gosh, I've never done anything like this, but why not? At the time, we could definitely use some extra money, and we loved the product. We absolutely believed in using the all natural clean products. And so I started my very first network marketing business. It was in-home parties, and I have learned to never go back and bash something that I did that brought success for myself and others. It just, after a while, wasn't something that I was enjoying anymore. I liked it in the beginning, but it wasn't something that after a while, I'm such a homebody. Now, that way of doing business has gone away a little bit, but not all the way because of technology. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's just different ways of doing things. I loved it. It was a great opportunity for us. It introduced me to the network marketing business. It taught me a lot about network marketing and the awesome things that come with it, as well as the hard work that comes with it. I was united with some of the top leaders in the industry, and I learned a lot. I met the lead singer of Chicago, and got to spend time with him on a personal level. I met a gentleman by the name of Craig Holliday, who was a top leader and teaches for top companies because he's just such an inspirational. He's got such an amazing story, and I learned so much from my family as well. And then introduce a company came along called Lavelle, and it was some of my team from my skincare company were trying this product and falling in love with it. So I thought, well, I'll try it. You know, what have I got to lose? And what I found was it was life changing. It was life changing and game changing for me as a mom and a wife. Not on the business side, on the product side. And so I had to do some soul searching, and I decided that big or little, it didn't matter on the business side of things with this. I just knew I needed this product in my life. And if it was so awesome for me, and if it had changed so many things for me in such a short amount of time, I knew that I would be sharing it with others. And so I might as well dive into the business side of it. That was 4.5 years ago. That was October 2014. And there's been highs and lows along that journey. Luckily, like marriage, when we got in the lows or we got in the ruts or the slow months, which what we learn as you're in network marketing long enough is the slow months for our company are the slow months for everybody's company. For example, May. May is when kids are wrapping up school, parents are going on field trips with their kids, graduations are happening, weddings are getting planned. And so it's just a slow time in the whole network marketing industry, not just within each other's companies. But I have learned just a wealth of information about business, not just network marketing, but business in itself. And I have a lot of friends that are business owners. They go to a brick and mortar business every day and they work their tail ends off and they build a successful business. And that attracts me as well. I'm attracted to all kinds of different business models when it comes to being an entrepreneur and being your own boss and owning your own business, even when it means you work harder. For better rewards than what you do in the corporate America world, right? When we have a boss. And so the awesome thing is I've learned so much. I've stayed with this company through the highs and lows. Just like my marriage, when it got hard, I stuck it out and I turned to self-development, self-growth. I turned to education. I turned to my spouse. I turned to my business leaders, and I just continued to learn and grow. And the reason I chose to stay is because the product was still the product that was doing amazing things for me. I still am thriving and loving every second of it, and this is still my passion. Not because of my paycheck or the people that are with me or not with me or have left or whatever, or have stayed. That's all awesome. You know, the people that we grow and we learn with and we become so close with because they become part of our team are amazing. However, that doesn't make or break me staying or going. What I will tell you that I believe with all my heart is if you are feeling like you are doing things that compromise your integrity, if you are feeling like you are spamming other people or you're uncomfortable doing the things that you're doing, now, I'm okay with stepping out of your comfort zone and learning new things and doing new things. That's totally different than what I'm saying here. But if you're doing things that make you feel like it's yucky, then don't do it. Like there's different ways. In this day and age, network marketing is the number one growing industry in the world. So things are working and we're all similar. So there is not one company or another company that's teaching things a gigantically different way than another company. We're all individuals who have bought into a company and we now own our own little portion. We're business owners, we're our own bosses. But you're not tied to your leadership. You're not tied to your downline. You're not tied to anything other than your passion and what you're doing every day to grow your business. And learning and educating yourself, whether it be inside your business structure and company or outside of it, there is so many resources and so many things available for you to educate yourself that you really have nobody to blame but yourself if it's failing. And I will say that number one, because I have had times in the year, I apologize if you hear all the kids yelling, if you know us at all, our yard is full every day of children, and today is no different. So, and my window's open, so I apologize. But hopefully the headphones help. Anyway, when people start to complain and start to say, well, my leadership that, or my people that, or my company this, or I was doing this, or I was doing that and I didn't like it, I have zero sympathy. Because if you're going to go to another company, you're still going to another company that's network marketing. Now, if you went to that company because that product inside that company changed your life, like it changed everything, just like Thrive did for me. Skincare was amazing. I still use the skincare from the same from the beginning company because they have body lines and they have all kinds of different things that we haven't come out with yet. But if you leave because you were in a rut and you found your excitement with something new, that's like leaving your marriage because it got boring and you didn't know how to reunite the spark. And so you left to go to somebody else who had the spark and had the excitement. And you know that pretty soon you're going to be in the same rut again because we are human beings and we get excited for a little bit and people get excited for us and then everybody goes back to normal and everybody comes back to that range where it's like, oh, now I have to work. Oh, now I have to do the tough stuff. Oh, now I have to put the work into my marriage or my business or whatever it may be. So I just want to encourage you. Number one, if you're not in the network marketing world, do some look into it because it is incredible. Whether it is finding a product that truly changes your life and you are a customer and you help another single mama or a married mama or a dad on a mission or whatever it may be, how incredible that we can buy from each other. And often network marketing companies have things where if you buy one or two times, you get a couple of referrals, you get your product for free, or you get a discount. You don't get that from Target and Walmart. So that's awesome. And number two, if you need some extra income, it's a great way to have that extra income and to work it in your own time. That's the awesome thing about network marketing. When life throws us a curveball, which if you know anything about my story, life threw us a huge curveball in April. And I luckily had worked my business for 4.5 years and was in a place last July that I could retire from daycare. And so this is my full-time gig. I'm at home full-time, working my network marketing business. I was cleaning houses part-time for some extra side cash and to get out of my house and to do something outside of my house because otherwise I get wrapped up in cleaning my own house all day, every day. And I walked away from that completely when we found out what was going on with me health-wise and knew we had to put some focus into that. But I am still here in my home office working my business, bringing in an income, and I can step away sometimes for weeks at a time or days at a time. But my team knows I'm here for them if they need me, and they also are. I have the best team of individuals who are self-reliant. Like they do not put their success or their lack of success on me because they know they're responsible. So we're in business together. We're here to support each other, but I'm not their boss and they're not my employees. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So if you're not succeeding, you need to take a good hard look in the mirror and ask yourself I always got to check and make sure they're being okay out there. What you're doing for yourself. And then if you're in a rut, how can you get out of that rut? First of all, reach out and talk to your leadership because often just a conversation can get that excitement going again. Or we may have an idea where you're like, oh, why didn't I think of doing that? Show up to team calls, show up to events. Those are held, you guys, to educate and to bring us together and for fun. It's not this commitment we put out there where you have to show up and you have to get on this and you have to do this. These are tools that our industry, not our company, our industry has given us to help educate each other and help each other out and to grow and to share. And truly, I believe from my heart of hearts, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a shares person. I am sharing with you something I'm passionate about that changed my life. It may or may not change your life. You may use it for one day or one month and then walk away forever. Or you might be like one of the hundreds that I've talked to through the years that have said, oh my God, this also changed my life. Thank you so much for sharing what you're using. Not thank you for selling this to me or thank you for pushing this on me, but truly thank you for being you and for reaching out and sharing. Um, Social media is a platform that is amazing to share our businesses, but also you need to be personal. It's social media. It's to be social. It's to share your story and your platform and about your family and to whatever it is that's you. What makes you you? Do you love to work out and post pictures of yourself in your workout clothes all sweaty? My God, post it. I love it. Do you love to post picture of your children all the time? Post it. I love it. Do you love to post pictures of the food that you create because you love to cook and you create new recipes? Post it. I love it. Nobody is out there to post what somebody tells them they should. I'm in love with the product. I am in love with my family, and I am in love with sharing my journey with brain cancer. And so I am sharing those things on my social media. If you don't like it, feel free to unfollow or unfriend. I won't take it personally. Here's the thing, because I have stayed genuine to who I am for 4.5 years, I haven't lost friendships. I haven't lost friendships. I haven't lost friends on Facebook. Now, I am sure some people have unfollowed or I've lost them and I haven't noticed them, and that is probably because we weren't close to begin with. I will tell you the friendships that I have lost are because somebody has made a decision, whether it be business related or not, to either take a stand on Facebook that does not support me or my family or my business, and to do so in such a negative way that I can't let that seep into me. I'm very careful about what I let in. I'm very careful about what I read. I don't click on news articles, you guys, because if I read about children getting kidnapped or whatever, I obsess over it and I get like anxiety over worrying about my own children and oh my gosh, what if that happens to them? Because awful things can happen each and every day. And when I expose my brain all the time to the news and those stories, I start to live in the what if and I'm really scared instead of the day to day enjoying my life and enjoying my kids and realizing how blessed we are. If I click on a cancer story and I read about somebody dying of cancer, that impedes with my healing right now because I'm not going anywhere for a very long time. If I read somebody's newsfeed who slams a company they left and talks about how they had to do this and they had to do that and they lost these friendships and this company did this and their leadership was that, and I'm like, well, that's funny how it's everybody else's problem. So I have to unfollow or unfriend. And I'm not doing that to try and be mean. I in no way care that if people leave our company and our business every day, people leave other companies and businesses every day to join us. And that's just the way of the world and the way of network marketing. But if you can do so in a way that is graceful and is respectful, then let's stay friends. There's a lot to go around, and maybe you have a product in your new company that I'm interested in trying. But if you do it in a way that is detrimental to me and my family and my business and my integrity, then I will unfollow and unfriend. Just because I choose very carefully, this comes from self development reading, to what I'm going to allow myself to be exposed to and listen to and allow to seep in, because I know that I'm super sensitive to the information that I take in. Some people aren't, and my husband's one. He's like, whatever. He can read an article and say it is what it is. That's never going to happen to us. And I'm the one over here going, oh my God, this might happen to us because the other day this and then that and I get really nervous. So I just know from educating myself and learning and growing every day, because there's always more to learn, that I have to be careful about what I watch, what I listen to, what I read, what I follow, and who I follow on social media. So that's kind of my soapbox story for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, post below what your thoughts are. Just know that I think everybody can do anything that they put their mind to within any company. I think it all boils down to us and to doing the do every day, at least every other day maybe, And just staying committed. And I tell you that the credibility that comes, I mean, I've been with this company for almost it'll be 5 years in October. And I tell my team all the time that credibility, you guys, that is not something once you start over. Now I wait another 5 years to get that credibility back. Credibility and integrity is huge. So if you can be you and you can be positive and you can be honest and you can make decisions that are best for you, hallelujah, do that all day, every day. But if you can do it without being demeaning and detrimental to somebody else, that's where I stay attracted. When you do it in a way that is so hurtful and harmful to people who were once some of your closest friends, it's devastating to me that you would feel that icky inside and have to do that to build a new business. But anyway, that is my, like I said, soapbox. I would love to hear some feedback from some of you. I am excited to be feeling awesome. I have the next month to be committed to, I don't know, some lives, some YouTubes, just spreading what I've learned, whether it's right or wrong, through the years of experiences and business and marriage and being a parent and brain cancer and just all the things that life brings for us. So anyway, happy Tuesday. Enjoy the sunshine. Talk to you soon.